Well, my friends, it has been too long. But the good news is, we're back. Right here, Rethink Vertical with UAS Cluster Initiative. I could not be more excited to be able to bring you some real updates that are taking place in the UAS industry across the Uncrewed Aerial Systems board. I am Kinsley Jordan, your regional director for the UAS Cluster Initiative, and welcome back to Rethink Vertical again. As we bring you the updates, there's a lot. Now, we don't have a guest on this week, but there's enough information that you really kind of need to be a part of and be following along with that we're going to keep you well informed. So stick with us right here. Now, if I haven't mentioned it before, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this is available not only in video, but also in audio. Anywhere podcasts are available, you can watch, you can listen. Make sure you go over to the UAS Cluster Initiative site, website. You can access all of the activities that we have there. Actually, let's go on over there right now. Boom. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Here it is. Yeah, there it is. UAScluster.com. You can go there. I'll remove this awesome little bubble. You can go there, follow along, get all the episodes that you're looking for, and you won't miss too much. I promise you. We'll bring that right back so you can see me as well. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe, follow along in all of those places so you can get the news and update of what's taking place. So, also, one other thing, just in case you haven't done this as well, you do also want to make sure that you follow the cluster on LinkedIn. There's a lot of great information about there, to include events that we're able to share that are coming up, upcoming events. There are so many activities in the UAS space, some that are defense focused, some that are venture capital focused, some that are getting capital into the hands of business focused, some that are state focused. Frankly, you could be traveling almost every single week of the year and not get to all of the UAS events that exist out there. So stay privy to the information that you know you're going to want and the events that are taking place by this right here. Ooh, wrong direction. That right there, the cluster on LinkedIn. You can follow along and we'll keep you informed, because we are putting together a calendar of events that will be easy for you to be able to see all of the aerospace UAS activities that you really don't want to miss. I mean, and I think that's really important. Because if you're not going to the event, somebody's going to, and we can share that information. Fantastic. Also, if you have not had the opportunity to see what's coming up here literally next week in the state of Oklahoma, this is really exciting. It is Aerospace Week. Now, right now, shout out to Oklahoma City Innovation District on their website right here, but they got a really great rundown of all the activities that are taking place. Again, I'll shrink this down so you can see. The first event next week, which is going to be this week, by the time that you're watching this current week of March 31st, the Stafford Aerospace Museum Days is taking place. I believe that's Monday, if I can look at a calendar. Monday? Yes, the 31st. Taking place on Monday. Museum Days, have a chance to be able to go there to the Stafford Air Museum, which is really awesome. Also, the kickoff of Aerospace Weekend Network event is taking place in Innovation Hall, 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. If you've not been to the new Innovation Hall in Oklahoma City Innovation District, you don't want to miss it. It's tucked right down there by the what used to be the Harold Ham Institute of Energy, I think it is. Now the Oklahoma State University building there in central Oklahoma City. But don't miss that great opportunity there. 5 to 7:30 on Monday, Innovation Hall. Then OADII, the Oklahoma Aerospace Defense Innovation Institute, 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock, Innovation Hall is talking integrated technology policy and strengthening national defense. Who doesn't love that conversation in the UAS space? I mean, honestly, right now, is there's a lot of people waiting for the commercial industry to really take hold, which are waiting on FAA. Hello, FAA. Waiting on regulations to be able to drop, which will help to be able to drive some of those integrations. A lot of focus is given to defense right now. So great discussion that's going to be taking place right there on April 1st. That's going to be Tuesday, I believe. Yes, it is confirmed. That is not an April Fool's joke. That is fact. That's actually happening. Yes, right there. So you can click on that event, go to it, see where it is, what's taking place. Has a great full description there for it. Also, taking place April 1st, again, not an April Fool's joke, the Lawton Central Middle School, Fista Innovation Park. You can go there, see the event of everything that's taking place. That's going to be in Lawton. And this is one of the really cool things about the Aerospace Week as a whole, is this really demonstrating all of the capabilities that are existing in aerospace in Oklahoma, and trying to demonstrate each and every one of those. Let's see. Wednesday, April 2nd, the day after April Fool's Day, which none of this is a joke. Already said that. Aero Oklahoma Advocacy and Awareness Day. Now, this is really, really cool. Just kind of like this picture demonstrates, there's a lot of activities that's actually going to be in the Capitol building. A lot of vendors set up, a lot of conversations, probably most likely going to be some press releases that you'll see taking place in and around there, but make sure that you get there. That's 9 to 2 p.m. Great opportunity to be able to sync up, see a lot of people who are common in the UAS space, and also emerging companies that are there and the offerings that are there. One of the things I did not expect when I went to this was that not only are there yes, UAS companies and UAS technology, peripheral technology companies, but also a lot in manufacturing as well. So again, this isn't just UAS week, it's Aerospace week as a whole, but you really don't want to miss that. 9 to 2 o'clock at the state capitol, Advocacy and Awareness Week. Then the following day, Thursday, the Oklahoma Aces. We love our Aces. Oklahoma Aces Career Fair. I've also had the opportunity to visit that. Very busy, a lot of people there. It's really cool. People doing interviews right there. That's at Rose State College. Some of the organizations from Tinker Air Force Base were doing hiring just right there. And they were doing interviews, which was really awesome. I mean, and no kidding. It's a career fair for you to be able to see what opportunities are within the state of Oklahoma, not only in the UAS space, but in the aerospace industry as a whole. Really, really awesome. And now, I'll be darned. Will you look at that? What is that? I'll tell you what it is. Thursday evening, you have the chance to be able to join the UAS cluster for an amazing discussion with Oklahoma City Innovation District, where we are hosting a panel cocktail event. Oklahoma City Innovation District, in partnership with the cluster, is hosting a Skyward Connections panel where we're talking intentionally about how to be able to align Oklahoma's UAS industry specifically to federal opportunities, i.e. DoD government. Now, whether that's Department of Homeland Security, again, I guess I should shrink that down or slide that up, whether that's Homeland Security, whether that is Department of Defense, overall, we're have an amazing discussion with several people who are on that panel inside itself. And that doesn't actually, does it demonstrate? Yes. Moderating, yes, myself, Victoria Natali from OWARE, Oklahoma State University OWARE, Drew Hendricks, really cool, from Ensign, also able to speak with regarding DIU, Defense Innovation Unit, which has gotten a lot of traction. Slide this over here. Has caught a lot of traction. Leisha Pearson from the Commerce Department of Oklahoma. Crayley Epperson, amazing entrepreneur in this space with Vigilant Aerospace. Doug Wood from ODAA. We love Doug Wood, State Manager for Advanced Air Mobility, and our very own Colonel Shane Riley, recently retiring from the Oklahoma National Guard, but still able to speak on the efforts that are taking place there, which is really cool to be able to join. So make sure you join that. That's going to be Thursday, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And then wrapping out the entire event, the entire week, slide this back over here for you, is OAR's Emerging Technology in Aerospace Symposium. Now that goes to from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. However, if you click on the event, you'll actually be able to see that there is a dinner associated with that as well. Previously there was. Well, I think there's also a dinner associated with that you can get tickets to. But that's going to be there at the OSU Harold Hand Continental, I don't think it's Continental Resources, but it's the energy, the OSU Ham Institute of American Energy, right there by Oklahoma City Innovation District. Great opportunity for you to be able to see what's happening, get involved next week, which is the 31st through the 4th, huge aerospace week for Oklahoma. Don't hesitate to get involved. Also, OKCID, the Innovation District, again, this is invitation only, but you can kind of see some of those other opportunities. There's Aerospace Community Night from Oklahoma City Innovation District and Student Aero Day as well. Really, really great opportunities that you don't want to miss. So make sure you do follow along with what is taking place. OklahomaCityInnovation.com is a great place to be able to go and see that. But also you can go to this location right here, again, if you would like to get updates or if you have questions. The U.S. Cluster Initiative right there. Okay, without further ado, this is what I want to do this week because there is a lot of movement. Not only do we have a lot happening in the aerospace industry, but also there's just a lot happening in technology as a whole. And I do want to be able to share some of the real highlights. One of them I thought was really interesting happening in general aviation, but also has its foundations really being found in UAS and UAS technology capabilities, and is starting to majorly transform into overall general aviation aerospace as well, which is really awesome. It's awesome to see that transformation of technology from an emerging market into already established markets, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive back over to it. This really caught my attention. Now, if you've not been following this company, this is Electra is the company. This is a general aviation company. This is their experimental prototype that essentially has come out that is already 9 billion in pre-order sales. Super slow, super quiet aircraft. Now, this particular aircraft, 2 seats. But when you look at this aircraft, what do you immediately notice to yourself? Yes, I noticed the same thing. This seems and feels very much like UAS, drone technology, and advanced air mobility technology that we're seeing. The amazing thing about this, as we're scrolling down, you can see the video. The 2-seater prototype that they talk about, that this specifically talks about, that they're doing testing on right now, has a 150-foot takeoff distance. Now that is like super short, stall aircraft, short takeoff and landing. Super short distance. This is a 2-seater aircraft. What they're working on, 9-seater aircraft that is going to be able, 9-seat aircraft that is going to be able to travel 200 knots, still have short field takeoff and landing capability. Ultra quiet. I want to say it was 58 decibels sound wise, which standard of a vacuum cleaner is like 72. If it's flying overhead, 58 decibels, that's not loud at all. The reason why I bring this up for the UAS space is that there is hope, people. There is hope, friends, where the technology, although right now in the UAS industry space, we may not immediately be seeing this rapid growth of profitability on the commercial side. What we are seeing is technology starting to filter over and impact general aviation, which is really, really interesting. Again, that's their 2-seat version of it. Some of the specs of this, as I said, takeoff 150-foot. Takeoff distance, which is impressive for overall an aircraft. Here it is, decibels, quiet, 500 feet. Oh yeah, here it is. Acoustically validated 55 decibels overall, which is not loud. Okay, vacuum cleaner, I was totally wrong. The conventional turbine aircraft, 75 decibels. Okay, still it's much, much quieter. And with a travel en route speed 200 knots, that's not nothing. I mean, that's very significant. So take note, take encouragement. There is growth, there is development, there is transition into the commercial market of what we're seeing with the technologies. Just stay with it. Also, a couple of the items that I thought were really interesting to be able to point out. We've seen this a lot if you've been following along with the Ukrainian UAS technology integration battlefield testing of types of sensors and capabilities that are really growing. This is also one of them. Article from March 14th, which shows and demonstrates this enhanced counter drone system with Spectre 5165 video processor from Blitz technology. That's a lot of words on the technology, on the tech side. But what really this is demonstrating is this. We're starting to see the peripheral technologies, specifically for targeting. Again, counter UAS is basically the ability to eliminate or counter UAS operations. So things that we've noticed, airfields have been shut down again this week. There was a couple Air Force bases that were shut down due to drone activity. Flying operations ceased. That's public information, obviously. But some of these technologies where they are able to hone in and process and have a higher fidelity of tracking of targets, that has been previously an issue or challenge, being able to, one, clearly identify what that UAS capability is, and then to be able to actively track it and process it and know what it is. And in the processing of it, being able to render it inoperative or to be able to take it down. The technologies that are supporting this, not only, yes, that talks about Blitz technology, but it's about the processing of the optical sensors and how fast it's able to take into account what it's actually seeing and then also pass that information on. If you have an increase of fidelity of what the target looks like, it is better able to make a match and then prosecute that target or be able to render that inoperative. So as you see advances in this optical targeting and increase in the video processing capability of some of these tools that are being used, some of these sensor capabilities that are being used, again, we're seeing an expansive, we're processing faster, we're processing data faster, we're transmitting this information faster, what it means is it enables the commercial industry that would make more investments and start utilizing these capabilities faster. It makes the barrier to entry less because it is a faster, more easy user ease and friendly for somebody to consume this capability, which I think is really, really interesting. We're starting to see more of. Again, we've known of capabilities like this, the autonomous UAS inspection systems for power lines. Actually, I had a really interesting conversation with a company that was talking drone in a box capability. And I bring this up for this reason. A lot of this activity has been taking place in Florida as well. Florida's made significant investments of what's taking place with drone in a box, power line inspection, tower inspections for their power grid and internal utility inspections. But I think this is really interesting because in the conversation that I had with a company that was working on a drone in a box deployable capability, one of the things that they were focusing on was kind of trying to sell this entire unit as a turnkey solution. And I think this is important to be able to talk about because a lot of times when you talk about UAS capabilities, it's trying to get somebody to buy the product as an entirety. For example, the drone, the box, the charging, the changing of battery technology. And we think success is only if we sell this entire capability to somebody. Conversation that I had with this company I thought was very valuable was if you look at the different components of what your offering is, if you look at the different components of what, for example, this is, you have a drone, you have basically a power station for it to be able to charge, you have operability for it to be able to come back, download data, to be able to replace battery, or to be able to rapidly recharge, potentially to be able to do repairs, robotic repairs if that system isn't able to be able to do that. But if you look at the capabilities that are just within this image, you have a vehicle, power station recharging, data sharing, and sometimes those capabilities are individually marketable. It doesn't mean you have to sell every aspect of this. And that's one thing that I've really been encouraging some of the US companies that we work with within the cluster is take a second and think about what your offering is. And don't consider it to be a failure if somebody wants to buy a portion of what you're offering, or somebody wants to work with a partnership or license part of what you're offering and maybe not the entire thing. That is still success. Now, if there's concerns about proprietary, if there's concerns about patent, you can work through those issues. And maybe it's not an exact one-to-one use case of being able to sell portions or to be able to market portions of your technology and industry, but don't write it off completely. And that's the interesting conversation that I had with these individuals was they were not even considering the possibility of being able to utilize or sell or market a portion of what their offering was. And for the target of who they are going after, that is absolutely something that their target client would be interested in, a portion of it. So I just reemphasize that to you of think differently when you're talking the UAS space, think differently of sales is not always everything. Sales is not always you have to sell the entire product. There may be portions that are viable. Again, if you're listening to this and just watching online, the demonstration, I'm doing a terrible job of describing the picture. It's a drone in a box where the top comes off, the drone flies out, and then it's able to fly back to the box power unit and to be able to recharge. The thing that's really interesting about this that I'm sure the reason why I'm sharing this is because this is where the industry is growing and expanding into. Of utilizing that more for domestic infrastructure utilization, inspection, and accountability of the hardware infrastructure of what they have, and using drones to be able to be optimized in inspecting those things. Otherwise, a human would be having to do that, which is a challenge all the way. The last piece I wanted to be able to bring to your knowledge before we have our one more commercial break of what we're offering the UAS Cluster Initiative, and then we'll get out of here for this session, for this particular episode. But I thought this was really interesting. Again, this was contracted by the U.S. Army, Great Eagle company inside itself. But the UAS makes first proliferated low Earth orbit flight. Now, this is not insignificant. Wait, this is not insignificant. Not would be anyway. This is not insignificant. As we talk about UAS, a lot of times what we're thinking about is very low altitude or maybe high altitude given waivers. It has been discussed previously about low Earth orbit capabilities of high loiter time, being able to stay airborne for a significant amount of time. That's not anything that has not been new. But the interesting thing is that demonstrations of that capability are happening across the board in this specific example, again, Article 17 March, showing that low Earth orbit satellite constellation for aircraft communications, it had its first flight and it's capable. Now, this is public release, obviously. Um, uh, Capabilities like this have probably been taking place for several years now. But this is overall where the industry is growing and expanding into. Not only sensor industry is starting to, the sensor industry, like we talked about, is starting to expand out and be more applicable, but also we're seeing that the bounds of what was previously considered outside of UAS is no longer outside of UAS. There is movement. We are seeing movement. This really is truly exciting because now the edge of space is also being in consideration for utilization of what UAS capabilities are. All of that to be said, if you're looking to stay privy with what capabilities exist, what technologies exist, and where you can find some of the breaking technologies that are coming out of the laboratories that could be licensable, look no further. Right here, you can go to the UAS Cluster website, click on Vertical Marketplace. Now, you will have to log in again to be a member. All you have to do is click Let's Talk, join a membership with UAS Cluster Initiative, and you can have access to our Vertical Marketplace, which demonstrates marketable, licensable technologies that are coming out of some of the UAS technical lab spaces that they've created. Now, these are labs that have focused on the development of technologies, and they're licensable. So if you have a company and you look through our category of technologies that we've covered with this, we can connect you directly to those labs that have created those licensable capabilities, and you could be able to utilize that for your company. That's not insignificant by any means at all. Really, really awesome. Again, shameless plug, go check out the UAS Cluster Initiative. Friends, I hope this has been helpful to you. It's been helpful to me for sure to be able to verbalize some of the things that we see on a week-to-week basis, some of the activities that absolutely have been taking place in the UAS space. Again, we absolutely look forward to seeing you here in next week at the aerospace activities across Oklahoma that are taking place. And without further ado, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to be able to reach out to us right here at the UAS Cluster, either through the website at the uascluster.com, or you can send us an email. And the email is scrolling down the bottom, info@uascluster.com. My friends, Kinsley Jordan, Regional Director, UAS Cluster Initiative. It's been great talking to you. Follow along, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for following. And it's super excited to have some upcoming guests with us, JJ Snow, Colonel Shane Riley, and also some of the upcoming companies that are not only have been seeking capital, but are growing in the UAS space. Stay with us right here for the next episode of your favorite podcast in the UAS industry, Rethinking Vertical. We'll see you.